Today, I'm going to talk about the upcoming Libra new moon eclipse on the 14th of October. So, I don't know if you guys have liked or subscribed to my page, but if you haven't, please do. And if you can, hop on over to Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and check me out there as well. I'm always giving tips and information on all the astrological happenings that you might want to know about. So this new moon eclipse, now a new moon is whenever the sun and moon are in the same sign. It's a solar eclipse is basically the other term for that. And what we all say is that an eclipse always brings kind of intensified, deeper energy. And a new moon usually doesn't carry a whole lot of energy. Like a full moon is always a little more emotional of a time than a new moon. A new moon is a good time to start new projects and have new beginnings. So this new moon eclipse in Libra is this sign of partnership. It's the opposite sign of Aries, who is, represents the self. It rules the 7th house and is ruled by Venus. So if you have any planets around 21 degrees of either Aries, the cardinal signs are highlighted here. So Aries, Cancer, and Capricorn, as well as Libra. You will probably feel this new moon and it will activate some new beginning, some new exciting adventure perhaps. Can kind of bring about endings to make space for new beginnings too, but a full moon is usually a little more about endings. So I'm not going to highlight that really here, but new beginnings are what you're going to see happen in relation to wherever this sits in your chart. So I think we might all feel our relationship shifting. We might take a look at our relationship with our partner, someone we're dating, our lover, our marriage partner. Our partners at work can count as well for this. So it's a very relationship-oriented new moon here. So with this new moon being in Libra, it is squaring Pluto that is currently in Capricorn. So that square is going to be felt with some extra tension, like squares always bring tension. So what you're going to see there is, I think this new moon is going to have some themes of transformation, regeneration. There might be something that you're obsessing over because Pluto rules obsession. Pluto also rules revelations, the deep, dark, under the surface revelations and thoughts and emotions that we carry along with us can be activated by this full moon. So it's a good time to journal, good time to check in with yourself, good time to explore your emotions, explore maybe if you're working with a therapist, explore your mental health, and really dig deep this time because Pluto doesn't play. Pluto's serious. Pluto is deep, dark, and transformative. So expect some transformations, especially if you're a Libra or one of those cardinal signs. So I'm going to go through, as I always do, the signs, and each of you are going to get a little horoscope. So first, let's start with Aries. I always start with Aries. You guys know that if you've been watching my videos. So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries, you're going to have this experience in your 7th house. So your relationships are definitely going to be prominent on your mind. You are going to be either working on finding new love or making your love that you already have, your partnership, feel new. You might plan a hot date. You might go on a hot date. You might find that you've come to a place in your relationship where you want to take it to the next level and you might move in together. You might get engaged. All this new exciting stuff for you, Aries, can be very uplifting, and your energy, I think, is going to be peaked at this time. Just know that it is opposition in your 7th house, so it may not all be good. You could potentially see some tensions arise with your partner where you need to talk it out, but I think ultimately the end of this, is going to be a good thing for you. The end event of this new moon is going to be, a revelation with your relationship that's going to be beneficial for you. So good luck, Aries. Taurus, your 6th house is going to be affected. So your work, your day-to-day life at work, your chores, your hobbies. 6th house does rule your health. You might be taking on a new health journey. Getting your health together, starting a new exercise plan, starting a new diet. You might be making your appointments because it's coming to the end of the year here. You might want to get those appointments scheduled. So focus on your health. You might have some health problems, some new health problems arise. You might also have some resolution to issues that you've been having in the past, and you might have new solutions to fix those health issues. Sixth house also rules your pets, so pay attention to Fido. Make sure that they're feeling well. If they have a vet appointment, don't miss it. Mark it in your calendar. And so you might have some new hobbies arise, not hobbies, chores, sorry. Hobbies are not in the sixth house. New chores that are stressful for you arising on your plate. And you might come up with new solutions to get it all done because it isn't always easy. Your work life, your day-to-day work life could become a little more complicated. You could be starting some new projects at work. So Gemini, fifth house, your fifth house of romance, romantic partners, your children are seen in this house, and your self-expression and creativity. So you might be taking on new projects with your, new creative adventures, new creative projects might be started at this time. It's a great time for creative inspiration. You might really feel inspired by something and start a new creative adventure. You might be getting into the dating scene, and you might be joining those apps and getting yourself ready to feel some love, going on some hot dates. You can see also like sex life is sometimes seen in this house as well. So your sex life might be highlighted. You might be having some new sex partners, so your little boy toy that you keep, for sex might be coming along, and who knows, a relationship could spark from that. You could see some issues arise, some new problems or new exciting, good, positive events happen with your children. You might be helping them with a project at school or, in life in general. You might be needed to support your children a little bit around this time. Cancer, your fourth house is going to be highlighted by this new moon eclipse. You could see some revelations with your childhood, your family life, your mom. You might have some things you need to do for mom. You might be helping mom move. You might be helping mom with her health. Hopefully mom's well and good. But either way, I think that you and mom are going to have some connection here during this new moon. And you could be moving yourself. You could be looking for a new house. And if you are, it's quite possible that you could find what you've been looking for. You might have some hangups and some troubles and some, roadblocks to getting where you need to go whenever it comes to getting a new house, getting a new apartment right now. But I think that revelations are going to come your way whenever it comes to your house, your home, renovations, your electronics. You might have to, your appliances at your home, you might have to do some fixes there. So pay attention here. And your emotions, you might be a little more emotional than usual, which Cancer, I know you are quite emotional. So that's a lot. But this new moon hits that fourth house of deep, your private life, your emotions are rolled in the fourth house as well. So Cancer, I think you might be crying a little bit, thinking about some trauma, maybe dealing with some trauma in your past that you need to get through. Leo, your third house of communication, of short distance travel, and of your siblings are seen there. So you might have some new news come your way about your siblings. You might be connecting with them, reconnecting with them. You might be like, the focus is communication for you. So you're probably going to be talking to your close, relatives or people who, your relatives that you have not, your siblings that you've not been able to keep in touch with. You might get in touch with them. So you might be taking a short distance trip. And it could be very exciting for you. It could lead to some new exciting thought processes for you, some new projects coming your way. Maybe you could be doing some new learning projects. You might be taking a class or two, because the third house does rule our learning as well. So that is what's going on for you, Leo. Virgo, your second house of security, what was that? I don't know. Anyways, Virgo, your second house of security, your second house of values, your second house of how you make your income and money, honey, is going to be affected. So you might be seeing a new raise coming your way. You might see a new promotion coming your way that could be very beneficial for you. You can be looking into a new budgeting, plan, because you might have been spending too much here. You need to get ready for the holidays. You could be dealing with security in some way, shape, or form. You might need to change your passwords. You might need to change the locks on your doors for some reason. You might be putting up new security cameras, putting up a ring light or something, not a ring light, a ring camera or something like that to stay and feel more secure. Libra, your first house, this is happening. This is in your sign, so your first house is highlighted. You might be having some revelations. You might be doing your hair. You might be putting on some new treatments on your skin. You might look into improving your appearance in some way, shape, or form. It's a good time for that. Go for it. Because you are the sign ruled by Venus, and this moon will be, kind of ruled by Venus secondarily. So with it being in the Libra sign. So it's a good time for a makeover. Go for it. Get yourself that manicure, pedicure, get yourself that appointment for your hair to get done. And you could be also looking at yourself, how you are reflecting your self-image onto the world. You could be looking at your own self-philosophy and making some changes and tweaks and, looking at yourself a little deeper. Scorpio, your 12th house is going to be highlighted. So in the 12th house, we see our dreams, our visions, our institutions are ruled there, are found there. So you might have this new moon bringing about a trip to the hospital, unfortunately, or fortunately, maybe you needed to get something done and it's finally getting planned. You might pay attention to your dreams during this new moon eclipse. You could very well end up, having some good messages, positive, good messages you can use for the future to kind of help you cope with maybe some things that you've brushed under the rug. Your mental health is found here. So you might be working with a therapist to work through your subconscious issues. So pay attention to your dreams. Your sleep might be a little bit wacky right now. So get that lavender oil out, like I always say, get that melatonin and just do your best to relax. Sagittarius, your 11th house of friendship is highlighted here. Friendship, hopes, and dreams and goals. So you might be finishing some goals. You might be starting some new goals, and your hopes and dreams might be starting to come true. You might be seeing things coming to fruition that, you didn't think were going to work out, but they are. You might be focusing on being social, going out with friends, catching up with friends that you've lost touch with, perhaps. And it could be a very beneficial time for you to touch base with your friends that you maybe haven't seen because you're so busy all the time. Capricorn, your 10th house is going to be affected. This is your house of rulership. So you're going to feel right at home with this. Your career is going to be off the charts with this new moon. You're probably going to be a little stressed out. You're going to be seeing some new projects come along the line. Your boss may change. Your coworkers may change. You might be seeing some new hires coming along. And you're going to have to be versatile at this time with this new moon in Libra. So expect perhaps a promotion, some new roles that are coming for you to take care of in your own job that you've already had, or you could be switching jobs. New, right? That's a new moon. So Aquarius, your 9th house is going to be affected. So you might be taking on some new, that's like you're studying right now. You might be taking on some new learning endeavors. You might be interested in spirituality or religion. Sagittarius rules this house naturally. So Aquarius, you might be taking on reading some new books about philosophies, trying to decide what your own personal philosophy is all about. You could be, like I said, learning a class, taking a class for learning. You might be taking a class for teaching. You might be teaching right now, currently. So it's a good time for that, for you to study in general. And 9th house can sometimes indicate travel. So you might be traveling. You might be going long distance travel. And, make sure you double check everything with your trip advisor, your trip itinerary. It could always change. You could see some new things come along you didn't expect. But either way, you might be taking a trip. Pisces, your 8th house, a very intense and deep house. Your emotions could be running very deep right now. You might be evaluating your spirituality right now. You might be trying to decide, you might be going to a practitioner actually for treatments like Reiki, you might be consulting a psychic, consulting an astrologist. So Pisces right now is a good time for some deep inner reflection. It's also the house that rules sex and intimacy. So you might be examining some new tips and tricks, that you could take home to the bedroom with your spouse, partner, lover, whatever. So Yeah, eighth house is a pretty deep house. So hopefully you have some fun with that. And my cat is at the door just meowing for some reason, and I don't know why. But at that, I'm going to end this video. I hope this new moon eclipse is good to you. And again, check me out on all my pages, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm always putting stuff up there to help guide you through these crazy waters we're seeing in 2023. And I hope that you have a great week ahead, great month ahead.